You didn't do that earlier.
I didn't know. I forgot because I'm a shit producer.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to episode 6 of Queerly Biz. Here with you from Rainbow Assured. My name's Kerry King and this is...
Kekezza Reece.
Kez, we know each other, don't we?
We do.
No, we've known each other for about a year and a half.
Yeah, about that.
I reckon. Now, when I first met Kekezza, she did this utterly charming thing. We met through our friend Emily, and I started talking, and I described myself as kind of gay or quite gay or a bit gay or something. And Emily looked at Kekezza, and Kekezza looked back at Emily, and Emily went, "See?" And Kekezza went, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Now, you can tell me why you said, yeah, and what you were talking about when you saw me. I mean...
Oh, neurodivergence.
What? Yes,
obviously. Well, to me, obviously. Maybe not to everyone else, but yeah.
Clearly.
Emily too, but that's her problem.
Since then, quite a lot of people have said it. But
that's the problem, though. You opened the door.
I did. And now, but you and Emily were the first. Now, so you work in neurodivergence with lots of people who are neurodivergent, only people who are ND.
I'm literally going through all my clients in my head right now.
Is there anyone that isn't?
No. I have no typicals.
So you are a coach of the neurodivergent variety?
Yes, life coach of the neurodivergent. Yes, because I'm neurodivergent.
Yes, definitely.
Obviously.
Obviously.
I think that's a bit obvious.
Yes, it is.
Multiply neurodivergent.
Yes, also obvious.
Yes. Nice to know. And then, yeah, all my clients are neurodivergent. I don't know how that happened. My first client was sent, I was doing a course and my tutor went, we're not quite sure what to do with this client. We think that might be your kind of thing. Met them and went, well, yeah.
Yeah.
And then proceeded to, that was my first client and it's kind of gone on from there.
Yeah.
Susie was one of my first clients.
Yes. So you know Susie as well.
I know Susie.
So Katie, who we interviewed before this, they know Katie as well. So Susie.
Susie's awesome.
Susie is awesome. Susie's fab. Producer Cal is nodding. Susie, there's your clarification. You are completely awesome. Yes, and Susie is clearly neurodivergent as well. So yes, there's a bunch of us.
And it's difficult when they're not diagnosed and not aware, because I can tell.
I wasn't.
No.
I am now.
But you were open to it.
Well, I didn't really have an awful lot of choice.
Well, no, because Emily's just there going, mm-hmm, and I'm going... So
yes. For our audio listeners, you're nodding.
Oh, sorry. Yes, nodding quite. Yes,
nodding vigorously, voraciously,
with eyes wide open, with not surprise.
Yeah. And you produce Cal is also, I believe, at least, ever so slightly on the neurodivergent spectrum.
No, you see, that's so great, though, isn't it? Because the spectrum is. So you get these different.
It's different wide.
Yes. And then you're either on it or you're not. And I think we need to clarify that if we're talking about the spectrum. It's not a binary spectrum of a little bit or not at all the way through to lots. It's more like a colour wheel.
Why did you point at Cal when you said lots?
No, it's just not a lot is on my left and lots is on my right because I'm right-handed. But it's actually a colour wheel. So for people now on the podcast that are listening, I'm now doing a round circle with my fingers. The colour wheel, if you think about it as being from black through to white and then all the colours, the spectrum is the colour wheel.
Right. Okay.
And you can be in lots of different places on that depending on your particular characteristics, which is why some people can't get a diagnosis because it doesn't present in such a way that someone who only understands the pathologising side of neurodivergence can't always diagnose it.
Right. So I'm going through getting my diagnosis at the moment.
Oh, no, you haven't got to worry. No worries there.
No, I sort of thought that. In fact, one of the things that they ask you to do is to fill in like a precursor questionnaire. And then they say, you've only got a month to fill this in. And I'm sitting there going, I can't do this because of ADHD paralysis. Yes.
My son's just gone through the process and they literally got the questionnaires back on the day of his assessment.
I got something the other day and I thought, I've definitely left it too long. But I can't bring myself to go on and do it. Even though when I started filling it out, I was like,
You
wow.
might just need a body double. It's okay.
This is exactly what I need. This is what I've discovered. Body doubling works for me.
It usually does.
Yes, I didn't know that was a
ADHD
thing.
is and body doubling is brilliant.
So now,
Yes.
I have certainly noticed, and I believe I'm probably not the only one that's noticed, that there does seem to be a high proportion of LGBTQ who also may well be on the neurodivergent.
Yes, and it's been very well researched.
Oh, has it?
Yes.
So one of the things that I would like to...
Not like very well researched, but there has been research.
Okay.
And autism has been researched with LGBTQ+.
Okay.
And they find that it's 2 to 3 times more likely to be on the LGBT if you've got autism.
Oh.
Which is really not surprising if you really do understand autism.
Okay. Good.
Which I do because I'm autistic.
Which you do, yes. Yeah,
And ADHD. And CPTSD. That's an acquired one.
Is that
Complex post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yes.
So I have 2 I was born with and 1 I acquired later.
Well
Because 2
done.
clearly wasn't enough.
No, 2 wasn't enough. Now, can I just check your pronouns with you, please?
Okay, so...
I was going to say, I thought I knew your pronouns, and then you said at the beginning,
So my pronouns are they, she, but I'm also not static, so I'm fluid. So at the minute, I've been experimenting with they, fur.
Yes.
Which I really like, but I don't expect anyone else to remember that because I'm also very well how difficult pronouns are to remember sometimes in that moment. So they tends to be the one I sit with.
Excellent. So for those who are not familiar, they, fur is a neopronoun.
Yes.
Would you like to, what's the word, clarify what a neopronoun is?
Honestly, I have no idea because language is something I've come about only in the last decade.
Okay, I mean, so as in my understanding, neopronouns are kind of newer versions of pronouns, and they are extra to the kind of typical he, she, they.
For people like me who are just difficult.
Yeah, different.
No, I'm a PDA. I know I'm difficult.
All right, and difficult. Fair enough.
PDA
I was
is
trying to make you feel
pathological
better,
demand avoidance, just for people that don't know what PDA is.
What does that mean?
It's a pervasive drive for autonomy.
Right, I don't think I know what autonomy properly means.
I need to have... I'm not rolling my eyes in case anyone's actually watching this. This is me thinking. Because apparently this is what people do when they roll their eyes, but I'm thinking, I'm putting my eyes up.
Can you find out the definition of
So,
autonomy?
pathological demand
Autonomy.
avoidance. So autonomy is the need to have control on your environment, how things are done and what's done to you.
Oh, okay.
You know, like when your mate turns around and goes, can you come on a podcast tomorrow?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
And I have to go, okay, yes, because I'm on a yes mission at the moment.
Excellent.
So you were lucky because it literally started the day before. Otherwise it would have been a no.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad it was a yes. I know, I got to Sunday and went, oh my God, I've forgotten to ask people. Well, I had
ADHD
asked,
101.
Yes, I had asked several people, but then I realised that I hadn't chased them for replies.
ADHD.
Google says autonomy is the ability to act on one's own values and interests.
Oh.
I like that definition.
I've heard the word autonomy quite a lot recently, and I just realised I don't really know what it means.
See, for someone who's also disabled, autonomy is more important than independence, and it's something that the disability community is trying to get people to understand, is that independence is great, but there's actually no such thing as a truly 100% independent person. We all rely on other people.
We do, yes. Now, I know that you came in here in a wheelchair. The podcast listeners and viewers will not know this, but I've just told them, so secret's out. Are you happy to disclose your wheelchair use? I mean, I've
a bit
just
late
told
now.
them.
I mean, come on, Kerry.
What I kind of
What
meant
the hell? No, it's a secret. No one sees my wheelchair. I'm just floating in space. Yes, I'm a wheelchair user.
What? I didn't even mean that. I meant I mean, would you be happy in disclosing your condition?
Oh, I've got severe myalgic encephalomyelitis. Don't ask me to spell it.
Right. Is that ME?
Yes.
Excellent. Right. Well, not excellent. Not for you, anyway. No.
Oh, I know what you meant.
Excellent that I knew what I was talking about
You
vaguely.
do.
I didn't actually know that's what it stood for, but as soon as you said it, I thought that might be it.
That is it.
Excellent.
Also known as chronic fatigue syndrome, but we don't say that.
No, that's an arse.
Everyone just thinks it means tired, and that is not what ME is.
No. Anyone who says, "Oh, I get tired too," you know that they don't have that. And
At this point, I am actually rolling my eyes because, the amount of times you can say, no, I've had a really hard week, I'm exhausted, I need to spend the weekend in, and someone goes, oh, yeah, well, I've had a hard week, I'm a bit tired too. And I'm just like, it's so not the same.
Oh, yes. The other one is when I'm a chronic migraine sufferer and people go, oh, yeah, I've got headache.
You see, I get migraines with my time of the month. So I do have an understanding of what it's like to have migraines, but not chronic ones, which is different.
Yes, I had one every day for 6 months. In fact, some days I had 2 a day. I had to go on epilepsy meds to get rid of them, but that's happened twice in my life now. But thankfully, at the moment, that we're on about kind of 2 or 3 times a month, but that's bad enough. But
yeah, I get 3-day ones with my time of the month.
Now, talking about time of the month, you and I are both also perimenopausal.
We are.
Which is how we met.
Yes.
At a peri group.
We did. Run by
Peri
Emily.
Hub. Yes, run by Emily, who is also neurodivergent.
And in Peri.
And also has short, coloured, spiky hair.
She does.
Like us two.
It's like when you go to a gig and you can literally see your people.
Yes. Where was I the other day? Oh, no, I was singing at a charity event in Coventry.
You were?
I was. And there were people.
As Kaya?
As Kaya.
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 Just so everyone on here also knows now, your stage name is Kaya King. Not Kerry King, who is a guitarist for Slayer, apparently.
Yes, and also not kayaking.
Oh, yes.
When I first realised that.
Nice.
So initially I was Kerry Ann Davis when I was pre-wedding, and I thought, well, Chip and I decided to change our names, and I didn't want Davis and she didn't want me to have Haritonova. So my wife is Estonian and she's always had quite a bit of discrimination because she's Eastern European. And she said,
really?
Yeah, that the very start of the conversation, when people know, they go, oh, your surname's Haritonova, I'm not going to like you.
That's
and they go, I'm gonna
of people, but I'm autistic, so.
So she didn't want me to have to go through the same experience because I then had the surname.
Bless her.
So instead we decided, so she didn't want Haritonova and I didn't want Davis because I just never really liked the name. So we decided to pick a different name, and we decided to go with my mum's maiden name, which is King. So I now know I'm Kerry King, except... So when I met Chip, she was living as Liam, and she'd already decided on her new surname.
Can I just say I love the name Chip?
Well, it's because Haritonova in Estonian translates directly to chipmunk in English, which is why she's always been Chipmunk or Chip. What's that? So yes, so she was living as Liam, which was going to be my name if I was a boy, and she'd already picked her new surname, which was going to be King, which is also my mum's maiden name. So if you ever needed another reason that we were going to end up together,
my God, that's just perfect, isn't it?
Yes. So and then I thought, okay, if I'm changing my surname,
does she mind you using her dead name then?
No, she doesn't. She's not trans.
Or is that about to get edited out?
No. She's not. She was living as Liam, as in she was going to transition to a male. Oh. But she never did. So her female name is Marina, which she doesn't use very much, but that's just because she doesn't like it really. She prefers Chip.
It's like my birth name.
She didn't actually transition, as she's just kind of floating around somewhere in the space, but is still using she/her pronouns. So I thought, well, if I'm going to change my name anyway, because when it's a same-sex marriage, the government don't assume that you've changed your name to one of the people because they don't know which one is the man? It's a lovely microaggression for you.
Yeah.
So because they don't know, so they don't automatically change your name. But also, me and Chip were changing to a name that wasn't either of ours to begin with. So
King is a good name anyway.
King is a good name, yes. And then it was like Coronation Day, and I was like, it's King Day, therefore it's my day.
Totally.
Yes. So I just thought if I was changing my name
You get
anyway,
street parties in your honour now.
I know, right? I just thought I would add in an extra couple of middle names. So I chose Zara, which is Szara.
Of course.
And then Kaya. And so Zara is because my friend Zara, and I just loved her name from when I first heard it. And then Kaya is because of Willow, the film. Willow's wife's name was Kaya, even though she didn't spell it this way. But I looked at the 3 different spellings of Kaya, decided on this one because it had something about the word star in it, and I have a tattoo of a star. So I was like, well, it's meant to be.
It's amazing how much thought we put into.
I know, nobody else cares. And then I said to Sarah, my friend Sarah, I'm gonna choose my name instead of being Kerry King, because that's a American male drummer's name. I'm going to be Kaya King. And she went, if you say that quickly, it kind of sounds like kayaking. And I was like, oh, yeah.
It does.
That'll make people remember me. And she said, most people would hear that and go, oh, I should change that. That's not a good thing. You go, brilliant. People will remember who I am.
Yeah.
So, yes, I'm kayaking.
Excellent.
When I sing a little bit here and there. So I can't even remember where I was going with that. Oh, I went to Coventry to sing. And then there were lots of people with really brightly coloured hair. And I looked around the room and I was like, wow. It's my tribe, my people. These people are here. They are my people. One day, producer Cal is going to have blue hair. He doesn't know this yet. I might even dye his little mo. His little mo for Movember.
I reckon red and green.
Red and green.
Yellow and green.
Yellow. I was going to say. Yeah.
So you have thought about it then? Nice. There's some good yellows as well. There weren't years ago when I first started dyeing my hair.
I've got a nice one called Sunflower I can lend you. We could do apple green and sunflower. Should we do that?
I've been thinking about putting mascara in my moustache to make it stand out a little bit more, because it's very ginger.
You can get hair chalk.
You are quite ginger.
Thank you.
Ginger's a good colour.
It is.
Thank you.
But
I only say that because my
it's
husband's ginger.
it's on the bottom half of your face, though. But it's
Bottom
not.
half of my body as well.
I don't want to know that.
We didn't need to know that. TMI. I mean, there was a limit somewhere.
Which I think we've just stepped over.
Totally.
With
My
great-
husband's ginger beard, but his hair's now gone like a strawberry blonde grey.
Your husband's bald, isn't he?
No.
Who was I looking at when he came in?
No idea, because it wasn't my husband. He's growing his hair.
What?
Unless he's got it in a ponytail, then maybe.
I've always thought your husband was bald.
No, my ex-husband was bald.
I've never met him.
No, I know. Thankfully, nobody has. It's great. No,
But
it's
you
ginger.
have, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, I would. Yeah,
So you have a husband.
I do.
So you are LGBTQ in the sense of gender as opposed to sexuality, or are you that as well?
Both.
Yeah, I thought you might be. You're wearing a rainbow watch. You've got
I do have a rainbow wedding ring, but I've put on so much weight in Perry it doesn't fit. It's a good wedding ring because it's rainbow and then it's got a chain in the middle.
I'm wearing my lesbian flannel.
Are you really?
Yes.
I got too many t-shirts on.
Let's have a good look.
I just had a look to
It's
see
still
what I'm
there. It's
wearing.
definitely
It's
still
my new
there.
t-shirt that says KK's.
KK's?
Steel Mill in Wolverhampton.
None the wiser.
My new favourite venue because it's completely wheelchair accessible.
Excellent. Now I have a question. Talking about wheelchair accessible, did you find getting here all right? Do you find that you're catered for well in Norwich? Oh, they were making it. I thought you were going to go. Yeah, it's really cosmopolitan. It's
Gentleman's
brilliant.
Walk with all the cobbles, right?
Yes, I tried to do a survey down there the other day for Rainbow Assured, and I found out that the one way you can actively guarantee that no one will talk to you is to hold a clipboard.
On Gentleman's Walk.
I literally chased people down the street. I was going, if you're LGBTQ, please come back and talk to me. And they still didn't. Oh, they just...
Gentleman's Walk, it's the...
They hate me.
I don't hate you, Kerry. It's gentlemen's walking clipboards. It's where it's the slalom with all the charity people. That's where they stand, especially this time of year because they're asking for money, which is the wrong time of year to ask for money. Just before Christmas.
Actually shouting at people and saying, "I don't want your money."
Yeah, but we've Norwich conditioned to that road being clipboard.
Yeah.
Are you wanting to speak specifically to gay people?
Well, I wasn't originally, but after that, I thought my only chance is to speak to gay
our
people
groups
because
in Norwich
they're like
for gay people and trans people and our people.
Yeah. Well, I wanted people in the street. We did find this amazing guy who I am going to invite onto the podcast at some point. He was awesome.
Sweet.
And he went and got me a coffee because he thought, well, I think he thought I was homeless, but I was just a bit cold.
I had that. I was collecting money for the St Martin's homeless charity, ironically, and I had a chest infection at the same time, so I looked very pale and gaunt. And I stood outside John Lewis, and people would come up to me, and I said, "I'm collecting for St Martin's." And the lady went up and she said, "Can I get you something to eat or a coffee?" And I went, "No, I'm okay, but that's very sweet. Thank you very much."
Norwich is awesome.
I asked the lady if she would fill in my survey, and she said no, but could I have a pasty, please? Oh, fair, Spacey. Why not?
Okay.
But then the pasty cost me quite a lot of money, and I didn't have a lot of money, so that was unfortunate.
Clipboards, gentlemen's walk.
Can I ask you to talk a little bit about your consultancy and your coaching and
oh yes,
what that looks like?
Let's talk about work stuff. Sorry.
Thanks. So what does that look like?
Oh, now hang on. No, this is important because of what we talked about the other day, or what I sent you a voice note about, and then we sent voice notes backwards and forwards for a bit with me being excited. Oh, I've forgotten already.
You talking about neurodiversity at work?
Yes. So one of the things that I had a chat with a big company the other day, and they were really interested in not only doing the Rainbow Assured course, but also potentially doing a course on neurodiversity. And I said, I know someone that can help you with that.
Yeah.
So as it turns out, you might not be able to go out and do the training yourself.
I can't go out and do the training because very few places in Norwich are actually wheelchair accessible.
But
you can.
I can.
And I'll give you all the materials. It's fine.
So Rainbow Assured might be delivering neurodiversity courses, which should
just
be
got to remember how to use
cool.
PowerPoint.
Yeah, Death by PowerPoint is popular. We should do that. But tell us more about that stuff.
So neurodiversity is the overarching umbrella of everybody. And I'm being quite clear there. Everybody, even neurotypicals, are included in the umbrella of neurodiversity. Because that's the whole point of diversity.
Yes, that makes sense, though.
Neurodivergent.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'm with you. Yeah.
Is specific to people who are
special,
thinking differently. Special. We don't do euphemisms, Kerry.
No, all right, fair enough. But that's what people used to call me.
Oh no, I've been called all sorts. I've been called pretty much everything under the sun, and then I got my diagnosis, and they can all fuck off.
You said that with such relish.
For effect. I know, it's great, isn't it? Because I've been called everything. Weird, special, differently abled, unable.
Oh, what was that thing that Boots did?
Oh, God.
That made you, like,
less abled.
Famous.
Less abled parking was the Boots sign, and I'm sorry, the rant just came off. It went, and then it took on a whole life of its own, and it's kind of
went viral.
pinged all around the world. It wasn't just the UK. It opened up an entire conversation in Australia and America about euphemisms for the word. Disabled is not a bad word.
No.
In fact, the disabled community picked the word disability and disabled. Can we please use it? Thank you. Rant over.
Wow. Yes, you went viral.
I did.
I went viral in 2015.
My photo went viral.
Did it?
Yeah.
The photo of the sign.
Less abled. And I don't understand how, and I still cannot get my brain around how, Boots, a pharmaceutical company who makes good money out of those who are disabled and chronically sick and everything else because they're a pharmaceutical company, could ever have got past quality control less abled.
really quite shit, isn't
It's
it?
like you could not have got worse.
Yeah, that's just hideous. My dad went viral this year.
Really?
Yeah, because he has a tree that looks like a giant football helmet.
Like American football helmet?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, some people said it looked like Pac-Man. If you put in man with helmet tree into Google,
That's awesome.
you find my dad. And I was showing something to someone the other day and he went, oh my God, I've seen that article. And I was like, it's my dad. And now Cal is Googling
think
man with
that's
helmet
awesome.
tree. So
You see what happens when you put two people with ADHD together is all the side quests and none of the main quest.
Yes.
To go
Yes,
back to what I do for a living.
Yes, sorry. There, see there. That's my mum and dad's tree.
I'm going to put it on screen.
Oh, I definitely think that's Pac-Man.
Yes. Well, I mean, from each end of the street, you go, oh, look, there's a giant football helmet. Since then, they've had Japanese tourists come just to take pictures with the tree.
I think that's fantastic.
It's gone viral on a Russian YouTube channel that my wife found. And it had 15 million views just on that
tree.
one YouTube channel, on a Russian YouTube channel. And it's something like pensioner, old man, pensioner saves tree. My dad was gutted.
Of all the things you could be famous for,
Yep.
it's a tree. And for me, it's a boot sign.
And for me, I did dog grooming for homeless people and their dogs. And I went viral for
but
that.
that's
That
a
was quite
good
nice.
thing.
But I literally got messages from all around the world. Brazil, New
I think
Zealand,
that's awesome.
Kuwait. Apparently I was very big in the United Arab Emirates. Who knew?
Wonder why. Sorry, my brain's going to go down that rabbit hole later.
Yes, let's. We'll leave that one for another day. So yes, anyway, back to your job. This is going to be a very annoying podcast for people who are not neurodivergent, who are going to go, will you just stick to the subject?
No.
No.
Side quests are more exciting.
This is...
Look, anybody who's ever done gaming understands that you have to do the side quests because it helps you get all your ammo and your... See, he's nodding.
He's nodding.
To get all the guns and the weaponry and scale up your armour, you have to do the side quests. You can't beat the big boss until you've done loads of side quests. And
He's nodding at me.
Well, there's nothing more satisfying than completing the game and then with the really good armour and weaponry going back and doing a side quest from the beginning. It's just absolutely...
oh, that's fantastic, isn't it? Yes.
Would you like to come and sit here?
Nice.
Sorry.
Come on then, tell us more about your job. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do?
Yes.
What do you
sorry,
actually
my brain,
do?
just putting all my tendrils back in because what is it that I do? I'm life coach.
I don't think I know.
But I think it's difficult. So
Just
when
talk
people are
shit
going
to
through a
people.
difficult time in their life, not a therapist, I will add. I am not a therapist.
Need therapy, not
No,
therapist.
done therapy, been there, done that.
Fair enough.
Neurodivergent, not all therapies work. When you're looking to plan for the future, so therapy is the history. It's you dealing with things in your past and difficult things and coming to terms with it and exploring it and coming to some kind of resolution so you can have closure and move forward. There's my understanding of therapy.
Lovely.
Life coaching is forward thinking. Actually pretty good to do after therapy because it helps you, and in my case, a lot of my clients understand a diagnosis, especially if they're late discovered and perimenopausal, which a lot of people our age are discovering diagnoses during perimenopause.
Yes.
And I just help them explore it.
Okay.
It's not really adjust. I help them explore it, find out what that means for them and how they can plan for the future with a greater understanding of who they are as a person.
So one of the reasons my dad didn't really understand why I wanted to get a diagnosis, and my because I'm starting Rainbow Assured, my explanation to him was I want to find out how I can make this my superpower and not something that limits me. And I know it's possible. I just
work with and not against.
Yeah.
You just work with it. The superpower thing is, I find very an interesting discussion. It's, for me, it's more about understanding how it affects you, so it's no longer hindering you.
Yes, that one too. But I actually want to harness the power for the greater good.
Okay.
I do.
Yes.
I want to have a cape and everything. I'm going to wear pants on the outside of my trousers
Do
too.
it.
It's going to be, and I'll just have like emblazoned across my chest, ADHD twat. I was going to say. Because I am, both of those things.
Yeah.
Nice twat.
And that's what I
but
do.
nonetheless a twat.
On the very simplest level, that is what I do.
When you say very simplest level, are you talking about yourself or the person?
No, the person, my client. So
you're calling your client simple.
They come to me and then they start to explore it, and then it tends to open lots of things up.
I came to you and I said, please, will you be my coach? And you said, no.
No, because you're my friend.
Yeah. I prefer that.
I can take your money, but you're my friend. I
don't have any money.
It's very difficult to coach someone who's a mate.
Right. Okay, so can you explain that for me more? Because, I mean, I've had other people say that before, but from a point of view of somebody who is actually a coach, is it because you... So,
How about I put the words out of my own mouth?
Yes.
So...
I won't go off on my side tangent because that could lead down a rabbit hole.
As someone who's also autistic, friendships can be difficult.
Yes.
And having ADHD, and I know it's not actual like a blindness, but when you're not with somebody, time can go past, but I can pick up where I left off. There's no degradation of friendship over time with me if I'm not talking to somebody. Literally, if I bump into you into the street and it's been, I don't know, 2 years, to me it's like it was the next day. So because of the difficulty in maintaining friendships, I have a very strict boundary about where my coaching is and isn't. And I will never coach a friend because that's a friendship. And I wouldn't ever want to cross that line into my professional work. I like to keep a solid boundary. Also, as someone who has done therapy, I'm very well aware how strict boundaries need to be when you're working with people who can get very emotional when they're exploring who they are as a person. Mm-hmm. It is an emotional roller coaster because you suddenly find you're revisiting experiences from when you were 7, 8 and 9.
Yes.
Through the lens of neurodiversity.
I think I might still like to look at those sort of things at some point because I don't know... Because I'm late diagnosed, I don't know how it affected me when I was a kid, if it did. If I'm being kind of blind to it, or if I have selective memory, which I may well do.
I mean, trauma can, if there's trauma, not that everybody, I don't believe that everybody who's neurodivergent has trauma. I think in some circumstances there aren't, rare, but possible.
So
it can, as I said, it can get very emotional when you're exploring your divergence because it does open up memories through a different lens. And I mean, I've got memories from when I was at school when I had massive rows with friends and they just ghosted me and I had no idea why. And with someone with ADHD and rejection sensitive dysphoria, it's horrendous. I can remember sobbing into my pillow. Now I understand with the ADHD, it's a mix of probably not understanding cues, because I'm also autistic, not understanding social rules that no one specifically has said, and let's face it, it's a teenager, we're going through so much anyway. And then also the rejection sensitivity that I wasn't aware is so horrendous.
I know. I did an audition a couple of days ago and I didn't get the part that I went for, and I was so upset.
Yep.
And it's not unusual for me not to get a part. I don't often get parts. But I really didn't handle it very well. And I felt... I went back to the guy who was directing and I asked him for feedback. I was very nicely asked him for feedback. But one of my words I think I'd used was, I said, I'm really gutted about this. And he was brilliant. He was very honest with me, gave me really good feedback.
Good.
And said, I want to be honest and authentic with you, and this is what I think you could have done better, and what have you. And then afterwards, I thought, oh God, I must just think I'm such an idiot. Why am I so gutted about
rejection sensitive dysphoria?
And then Cal, bless him, Cal gets that because then I text him and tell him all these horrible things that are going wrong with me, and then I say, oh, you must be angry with me, you must be so annoyed with me, and it's just me going, I'm going to be rejected, so
but we feel our emotions so deeply.
God, it's really horrible.
And I think this is, especially with neurodiversity in the workplace, it's something that not a lot of people realise is when you're neurodivergent, we can have this bottomless well of emotion. We don't get these very gentle waves which build up slowly. We get tsunamis of emotion, and it can be very overwhelming. And rejection is, there's so much caught up with, guilt and shame and embarrassment that's caught up within rejection.
Part of me sort of feels like I'm really ready for it because I'm expecting it. But then, of course, when it comes, I wasn't expecting it at all, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
We are going to have to wrap up because we got to the end of our weird conversation. Was it as bad as you thought it was going to be?
No.
I was just going to say, now's your chance to say no, but you paused a little bit too long, and I thought you were going to say yes.
Oh.
Thank you for saying yes, and I'd like to get you back another time because we were just getting into really cool and interesting parts, and
we should have
do more
questions,
actual questions.
Like, think ahead of it next time, and I'll have questions that you can ask me that I'll have answers for.
When there's two people with ADHD,
you need to have a structure
guidance.
Like an agenda.
Right,
yes,
okay.
An agenda.
Right, sorted for next time. Pretty much so far.
But yeah, I'm easygoing.
Pretty much everyone I've had, I think only one person I've had on the podcast so far has not been neurodivergent. And that episode isn't out yet.
Such hard work, neurotypicals.
You can see him actually keeping to a conversation.
It's so weird.
He just dance around in one place.
What?
Important. Yes.
So you mean he thought about it before he came? That is weird.
I know, right?
I'd just
pitch up.
I did just roll up and just went, we'll see what happens.
I know you didn't even ask me what to talk about.
I did watch the YouTubes beforehand, so I went, oh, okay, great conversation with Kerry.
Yeah, that's pretty much all it is.
I can manage that.
Great. Awesome. It's lovely to have you here. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So this is the episode 6 of Queerly Biz, making your workplace a safe space. I'm Kerry King with Rainbow Assured. Thank you to Kekezza Reece, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Nice.
Good luck with that one.
Thank you.
That
I'm
was
looking forward to that one.
absolutely a rabbit hole, wasn't it?